right?
Oh man, I love you so much. Come on, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Phil Joanou. So I got to meet Phil because he's making a movie that I'm dead wrong for, and I was like, well, please let me just meet him. And we just started nerding out on films, and the first thing I told him was how desperately I love this movie, and then I just made him tell me all these stories about it. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is about that song, because Tangerine Dream did all the composition for it, which is another story. But that song, the theme song that came from that first scene.
Yeah, that was a friend of mine from high school. They'd hired all these people to do songs, and none of them were working out. And I said, well, I have this friend from high school who's trying to get into music and trying to write songs, and da-da-da. And I had shown him the movie, and he just sent me that track. He just did it, you know, and this is back in 1987, you know, pre-Max. So he did all, I mean, everything by himself. Sent me the track, and I played it for Universal, and they loved it, and they said, go ahead and use it.
I own that soundtrack on cassette.
Oh, there you go.
I used to rock the shit out of it. I had to hide my face because I know all the lyrics to it. But wait, the Tangerine Dream stories here.
Yeah. Well, I showed, you know, Tangerine Dream are a bunch of German guys. They worked out at the time out of Berlin, which the wall was still up, and we scored the movie in Berlin, of all places. And they came to Los Angeles, and I showed them the film in the cutting room. There's three of them. They're very serious, very, yes, you see, yes, the boy, the one boy tries to kill the little boy. It's supposed to be funny, but yeah, I mean, they're just trying to kind of kill him. Yes, we see this, we understand, it's very scary. Yeah, it's very scary, very bad. It's a very bad day for him. Okay, great, you guys good, just, you know, like risky business, you guys do your thing and we'll be fine. So they go away, and back then they did everything electronically. You know, they were like actually way ahead. They were one of the first fully electronic scores. So they go away for a couple months, and then you fly to Berlin. You go into a room about this big, which at the time was entirely filled with computer equipment. I mean, the entire, it was a warehouse computer equipment with just a little TV monitor and a little keyboard. They said, and now we show you the movie. And you sit down and they hit play, and you watch. Normally when you score a film, you hear a cue at a time. And you get to assess the cue. But in this case, because it was all on, you hear the whole score all at once to the movie. And it was like the most dark, dramatic. I mean, it was like all the humor was gone out of it, and it was just dead serious. They had taken the movie totally serious. It did not translate into German. They did not think it was fake. And there was no humor in it. And I'm sitting there all by myself, and these three guys in this room. Actually, my producer was with me, he and I, in Berlin. And I go, first time I'd ever scored a movie or done anything like that. And the movie ends, and it's like, you know, boom, boom, boom. And I go, okay, great. Can I just think about this a minute? Yes, you may think about it. So I go outside with the guy in Berlin, and I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's not funny anymore. It's all serious. And he's like, I don't know. What are we going to do? We're supposed to bring it back tomorrow. And you're supposed to take the score back on the plane, and you're done. And so I go back in, I say, you know, maybe it's not quite as funny as we'd hoped. Why, what's this funny about it? The big boy tries to kill the little boy. It's funny. No, it is not funny.
You think this is funny?
Yeah, this is not
Killing
funny.
boys funny?
He hits him in the head. Brass knuckles. We have to, you know, so I ended up spending 2 or 3 weeks in Berlin going cue by cue and trying to
when
find
you first screened the movie, though,
humor in the German version.
When you first screened it and you were going to watch it as a whole,
yeah,
without interruption, and that first cue, when that first cue was wrong, I can't imagine you thinking about the rest of the movie.
Dark. I mean, it's, you know, and some of it is in there, like the Buddy Revell cues were all good, you know, good because they're meant to, they kind of were tongue-in-cheek, but they didn't think they were tongue-in-cheek. It was like, you know, it's kind of, so that was good for Buddy, but like, you know, she's like, you know, we need to bond. Jerry's like, God, the thing of it, by the way, it probably was great, and I just didn't know it. You know what I mean? Like, probably I should have kept it. It probably was twice as funny. But, you know, back then, it was like, no, I can't be taking those chances on the first, you know.
Well,
I don't, you know, anyway, but it worked
There's
out.
a really amazing balance in the movie, which is one of my favorite things about it. Like, it is very serious, and every actor takes it so seriously, and the camera work is so
you know, Richard's here, and I just have to say, every single scene he's in is riveting. Isn't it? I mean, every time. Seriously, every time he's on the screen, and he's doing, and everyone is pretty big.
So subtle, too.
Everyone's
Like,
pretty big in the movie, and Jerry's big, and he's doing so little, exactly. And it's just, and I remember, Richard, I have not seen this movie in 21 years. I say last time I saw this was opening night at Avco Center Cinema. There were 6 people in the theater, 4 of them were my friends.
So many times.
Yeah, but opening night, 6 of us. But I haven't seen it since '87, and I was really struck by how great your performance was. And I remember that last scene, we were trying to decide how big a smile he would do, and it was like, I don't think he'd smile. I'm like,
Barely
I don't think he'd smile. I said, a little teeny smile. And we'd like take one. Okay, I smiled. No, I was smiling. Like nothing. So finally, and it's just the imperceptible, and you're so right. Just keeping everything so small.
Because you're sweating in the movie, like the tension is sincere.
Every scene, it's like, it's weird looking back on it, because now I just wish there were, don't you wish there were more scenes with Buddy? Like, I look at it,
but his presence is like a haunting presence throughout the movie.
Looking back, it's like, I think now, knowing what I know now, I think even during the shoot, I said, you know what, we need to interject Buddy more into this movie. You know, it's because then, you know, you just see a script and you're just praying. We shot the movie in 33 days, and, you know, for $5 million, and which, you know, I mean, back then I was happy there were going to be $5. Yeah, are you kidding? I was like, $5 million? Which is huge. Anyone who's trying to make it, it is a huge amount of money, but we shot it pretty fast, so you really didn't have a lot.
You still did so many, I mean, what looked like very complicated rigs.
They were, yeah.
Some unbelievable camera moves.
We were doing, you know, we were.
How do you even set about, like, building that idea to say, okay, well, this is how this is what I want to look like, and this is where we put the camera.
Basically, I watched After Hours about 10 times and stole everything from it. I watched After Hours and Road Warrior for the fight. Road Warrior is what I used for the fight.
Sound design every fight too is so cool.
Just let's go it all from After Hours. Everything, the clocks, the ticking, the push-ins, the sound. I mean, come on, let's say you watch After Hours, not that anyone, but it's a complete rip-off of After Hours. And I remember the first time I was working, the movie was kind of given to me by Steven Spielberg, who had given me my start on Amazing Stories. And he thought, he was all excited I was making Karate Kid. And I show him the movie. I'll never forget, it was just him and me, and he was the first person I showed the movie to. And he watched, and he looked at it, and then he said, I thought it was supposed to be Karate Kid. And I was like, well, it's kind of like Karate Kid.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, same feeling. And he's like, you know, we should show this to Scorsese. I think he'd understand it better than me. And so I actually felt good about that, because I was like, well, I was ripping off After Hours, so at least he got that part. I channeled Scorsese, like, I think Scorsese, I don't get it, but Scorsese, and he was great about it. He was still supportive of the movie, but it was a little darker than I think he was anticipating.
So wait a minute, Sonnenfeld was your lighting consultant?
Well, no, that was
no,
that was our first thing. He had done Blood Simple, and I loved Blood Simple, and he was not in the union. So he was not an IA cameraman, and we were an IA show, so the union wouldn't let him have a director of photography credit. So we had to call him a lighting consultant. But the truth is, he was the director of photography. So yeah. Actually, that was the thing Spielberg did for me, because the studio didn't want to hire him, and I begged him. You know, I really wanted to use Barry, and he talked Sid Sheinberg into, because it was a very unusual, we had to hire what's called a standby DP. Anyways, we had a DP on the set who wasn't the DP, but he was union, and we paid him, and Barry got to shoot it with me. So yeah, it was Barry's, I think, second or third movie.
So awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.